Time for the main event!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. We got Mr. Dubs on the channel. He is in the vicinity. Mr. Dubs, let them know where they can find you and what you're all about.
You can find me over on YouTube at Mr. Dubs, or over on X at Mr. Dubs86, or even over on Patreon at Mr. Dubs. Links I'm sure will be in the description down below for you guys. But I cover everything wrestling games and ultra pro wrestling specifically related, as well as I've been going crazy with the WWE 2K26 mods, making all kinds of crazy things, turning that, of all games, into my favorite wrestling game of all time. Not a word of lie. It's absolutely awesome this year.
Nice. Yeah, I see those crazy mods you've been working on, dude. It made me buy the game on PC. Like, I haven't really got into the modding thing yet because I'm afraid I'll just go nuts and it'll take up all my time. But I had a blast playing with you on your channel. Thank you for inviting me all those times because it kind of ruined the game for me on console. Because I just want to, like,
yeah,
dude, you can do so much cool stuff on PC. So when I finally get some time off, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and just go nuts with it. So hopefully you're available so you can coach me on that.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out Mr. Dub's channel. He's got some awesome mod content. Like he said, he has a Patreon. He's showing everybody how he does it. He live streams his entire workflow and everything. Go check him out. He's doing
12-hour long live streams over and over.
So today,
if YouTube didn't cut us off at 12 hours on a live stream, one of my live streams was 18 hours, and that's how I found out. Crazy. That's how I found out 12 hours was the cap for them to keep the VODs up. So my live streams would probably often go over 12 hours because when you start making the mods, you just go down a rabbit hole and you just keep working, and it's just all of a sudden I'm looking up and I'm like, oh god, it's been 11 and a half hours.
That's what I'm afraid of, because
soon, everybody.
When I'm making wrestlers, that's what it's like for me. When I'm making wrestlers, I'm like, oh crap, it's been like 5 hours. I'm like, oh, I got to do stuff. Like, I got stuff to do. If I start doing the mods and it gives you that much more control, I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna be there all day, dude.
They added a tool for 2K26 for you that I think you specifically would love. I don't know if it's fully released yet, but I've seen on Twitter for it anyways, where that you can change the in-game wrestler's hair now.
Ooh.
With anyone else's. So you can make Bret Hart bald if you want. Make him Goldberg. But you can literally change the in-game wrestlers' hairs so that Bret Hart doesn't have to have that terrible hair now.
Ooh, you can give him
so it's actually really
mohawks? Cool. You can give him like multiple
mohawks.
Give
him whatever hairs in the game. Yeah.
You can make him Super Saiyan, like, or Broly.
I don't know if that hair's in the game. I don't know if those hairstyles are in the game.
Does it have to be the ones in the game? It can't just be whatever ones you upload?
I think it's just ones in the game.
Okay. Yeah, well, you can't change them right now.
If you're modding, you can make your own like mods and download other people. But I'm saying they added a mod that specifically will let you change the in-game wrestlers' hairs. Any of the in-game models you can give them hair, facial hair, whatever, get rid of it, face paint, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was like, this is really cool.
Can you do that for the women too? Give them a big beard.
Again, I've only seen clips on it. I don't know. I haven't tested out yet. But I just thought that was really cool. I thought that'd be one you'd like.
Go in and give Tiffy Time a big blonde beard. Tiffy Time.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
That would be a great video. Just give every character on the roster a huge beard, both men and women, and that could be the whole video. Just
everybody gets
the
old Eric Rowan beard. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Everybody's big red.
Yeah. Kind of went off there a little bit, but for today, we're here to talk about Ultra Pro Wrestling because they just had a massive update, and both myself and Dubs hurried up and made a video on it because it was so massive, because they've been kind of dark for the last, two and a half months, and we were wondering why. Myself, I don't know how you felt. I was getting a little worried that they were getting ready to announce a cancellation, but luckily that is not the case. In fact, some really cool stuff has been happening to them in the back end. Like, part of the video that we both watched, they were talking about how Netflix approached them to potentially make, or use their engine, use their game to make a WWE game. And that's where that Stone Cold and Triple H thing came from. That's huge. Any developer in their right mind would say, hell yeah, let's try it out. Let's see if this works. Because can you imagine, of all games, to be the alternative to 2K is Ultra Pro Wrestling, but basically like No Mercy. Now, what did they call it? He was going to call it the Backlash. What is he going to call it?
Oh yeah, well, he wanted to call the WWF one Backlash because that was supposed to be the sequel to No Mercy that was being worked on with Backlash, and then Nintendo was like, no more work on like N64 games. We're focused on GameCube, and they just dropped it partway through development. And at that time, there was different developers for every console wrestling game, like WWF game, and nobody got Aki. Like Nintendo didn't continue with AKI. They went with a different company. GOAC was doing PlayStation with the SmackDown games. And when Xbox came out, I thought that was the obvious home. And instead they got Anchor, who'd never made a wrestling game ever before. And we got Raw and Raw 2 and WrestleMania. It was awful. Right? It was awful.
Oh,
horrible decisions. We could have had Backlash. They could have just brought it to Xbox.
I'm still
it made
salty.
No sense to me then. So am I.
I'm still salty about those Xbox games.
I'm salty about
I begged my mom to buy me an Xbox. It took forever to get one because they had it at the kiosk at Target for the Raw game, and I got this. They didn't have a playable demo. It was just like a video going. I'm like, a new wrestling game, because I was super into so wrestling games. Too. It looked amazing.
The graphics at the time were amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I have to get this. So I finally convinced them to get it for me. I finally got the game. I got home, and I'm like, after playing SmackDown, after playing No Mercy, after playing all these other wrestling games,
playing all the good ones. Yeah.
I'm like, I forced myself to enjoy it because that was it. That was the only thing I was going to get for a very long time.
Didn't you love going up and opening crates and then like picking up hats and putting them on and like picking up that was the only thing to do in that game.
Yeah. I liked how
it was loot boxes before loot boxes. They were like actual.
I liked how when you made a created wrestler, if they were too tall, they were always crouching down because the ceiling was too big. So it looked like they were fighting in a little tiny room. It was so funny. Like if you go back and play those, like I'm like, why is he bending over? Because you could make him like 8, 9, I think 10 feet tall in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And they wouldn't stand up all the way. Like they would during entrances. And I think certain moves, like if you did a choke slam, they'd stand up all the way. But if you're walking around the ring, they'd be like they'd be walking around like this. It was so funny. Like, what the hell's going on? I thought maybe they're going to clip through the ring or something. And then WrestleMania 21, I played that at Game Crazy. I didn't buy it, thank God. And I'm like, at Game Crazy. Because you could, I don't know if you had Game Crazies back when they were still a thing. Like, it was part of Hollywood Video before they all went out of business because of Netflix, which is kind of funny. Kind of everything kind of goes in a circle.
Full circle.
Anyway, so I tried it out. And in the build they had, which was the full game at the store, like you could buy it right there, I clipped through the ring and I was Batista and I got stuck inside the ring and I got counted out because it thought I was outside the ring and it wouldn't let me get back in. I'm like, and it did that like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, wow, this game's totally broken. Are you gonna? I'm like, who would buy this? And I remember it totally flopped. That was the last Xbox wrestling game, wasn't it? Because at least from WWE, and then they just went.
Then
full,
the 360 came out, and it went SmackDown versus Raw.
SmackDown versus Raw, 07. That was the game that got me to buy the 360 because it wasn't coming to the PS3. I'm like, oh, it's coming to 360. I'm buying a 360 because that's where I was going. Was wherever the wrestling games were back then. Anyway, so the next thing they were talking about in the Ultra Pro Wrestling update that just happened, which blew my mind, and I was kind of talking about this with Kenny Bomb in our video, which we did right before all this news dropped, is why doesn't Ultra Pro Wrestling reach out to AEW and try to get their wrestlers in there to try to get more eyeballs and all that kind of stuff? Well, it turns out AEW, or at least a representative there, not anybody major like Kenny Omega or something, reached out to them for the same thing. Now, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think that's huge. Like the two biggest wrestling companies reached out to Ultra Pro Wrestling, which tells me there's no way this game's going to get canceled. If anything should light a fire under Sam's ass, is that there's people are interested in this game. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I made a whole video on it, but
exactly,
I was shocked by the AEW part. What I thought was funny is that with the because we saw the trailer with the Triple H and Stone Cold thing that they had put together as a pitch kind of thing. Yeah. And the way they sold it was like a pitch to like publishers and stuff to show them what it would look like with like a different skin on it. But what Sam said, he said he was shocked that more people didn't pick up on this, was that this was obviously WWE games. This was Netflix games that asked them to put this together. That's why it got a WWF skin on it. But my thoughts were, if that were the case, why would you have put together Stone Cold and Triple H in an old Raw and not had like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns or The Rock and Roman Reigns
Right?
in a modern day set. Like if you're pitching it to Netflix, Netflix isn't selling you on the archives. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not selling
yeah,
you
the
on old Stone
nostalgia.
Cold
Yeah,
matches. Like that's there, but like there's so to me, I found it kind of a strange choice. I understand the going for that backlash vibe, like sequel to No Mercy idea, and that's the whole Aki engine, the whole like birth of Ultra Pro Wrestling, right? Is around that. So I get from Sam's perspective of being a fan and doing that. But if this were an actual pitch, this is what surprised me: is that why would you do that unless they asked for that? Unless they specifically asked, like, "Hey, yeah, just throw us like an old WWF style." You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because also, I believe it had the WWF logo, not the E logo.
Really?
I don't remember. I don't remember
I
now.
have to go
Actually,
look
but
at it again because I was pretty
yeah.
tired when I watched it last night. Like I was trying to get that
Well,
video
no, but
done.
I'm talking about the video that came out months ago with the Triple
Mhm.
H and Austin stuff, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that AEW approached them, that blew my mind because I've wanted an AEW Fight Forever too since we got AEW Fight Forever because to me, it felt unfinished. It felt like the developers were working towards something and they didn't have the money or budget or whatever to get there. Where it was just like you could see in the Creator Wrestler that you had Kenny Omega's hair, you had perfect hair for Kota Ibushi, you had like 4 sets of Omega's pants. And I think if they expanded the Creator Wrestler, you would have got every wrestler's attire and alternate attires to give to your wrestlers in game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you would have had all the wrestler in games, like all their hairstyles and stuff and beards and everything else. And we just didn't get any of that because I feel like you can see like where the line was drawn, where the money stopped flowing towards the game. And that's why I wanted to Fight Forever 2, just to give us that fully finished AEW wrestling game, because the core engine I thought was great. I thought they did a great
Very
job.
fun play. Yeah. Very fun to
It's
play.
a fun play.
Yeah.
It's not exactly AKI, but it's very similar.
Yeah. They kind of like mix
it's
the Aki system with the SmackDown system. It
becomes
feels
the
like the
game.
perfect blend of those two games. That's why it was so fun, and it's such a disheartening thing that it didn't work out because it was right there.
Yeah.
It was right there. It's like just keep building on it. It's like you were planning to, and then like you said, the money dried up, and here we are.
It
And
just didn't get there.
not,
But with Sam, with them reaching out to Sam, though, I just thought, what a perfect. If they were going to make a Fight Forever 2, even if they don't call it that, even if they call it something else,
fight sometimes.
this is a proper AKI engine, Aki engine, and I just thought back to the days of like Here Comes the Pain and then Wrestle Roses, right?
Rumble
was
Rose.
the exact
Yeah.
engine. Rumble Roses. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't have the
It's
name
close
right.
enough. Close
So,
enough.
but Rumble Roses
Yeah.
was literally the Here Comes the Pain engine with a completely different skin on it.
Mhm.
Same thing with, I mean, it's the same thing with World Tour to Revenge to Virtual Pro Wrestling to Vote and then WrestleMania 2000, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, No Mercy. Same engine, just different skin. Sure, they took away the combo system in the WWF games, but it's essentially the exact same engine with a different skin. So having an AEW skin on it, obviously funding the development, and with the numbers they were throwing out there too, like $1.4 million.
Yeah, I was like,
They wanted. I was just like, whoa! But like,
Yeah.
I know it sounds like a lot to us, but then you hear games like Concord, which were a dumpster fire that cost like 400 million.
Well,
or 300
that new
million.
Wolverine game is
And you're like,
$300 million game. Then that's just
$300 million.
It's like that's a, like
That's
what?
bananas. So 1 point whatever million dollars isn't, like, it seems like a lot to us and for an indie studio, but it's not that much for a development of a game like this. But still, that would be huge, and it would fund the development of the engine.
Yeah.
And people were asking me in my comment section as well as, wouldn't this be a bad thing because it would restrict UPW's freedom and they could be telling them what to do, blah, 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 this, that, the other, creative freedom. And it's like, no, they wouldn't have the creative freedom on, say, like, if AEW said, we want this kind of story mode, or we want these kinds of matches, or we want this kind of roster. Obviously, AEW could say that for their game.
Yeah.
But the engine would remain hyper-focused games. It would remain under the UPW umbrella, and Ultra Pro Wrestling would still come out as its own standalone game, and that would have any feature Sam wants to put in, any match type, career mode, whatever. So it would be nothing but a good thing. That's what I was trying to explain in my comment section.
The white label thing was a little confusing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. The white label would be them just, they'd be essentially leasing the engine.
Yeah.
You're leasing the engine.
I was trying to
UPW
explain that too, and I think I messed it
UPW
up.
would be, but UPW would still be doing the development on the skin, like whether it's a AEW skin or a GCW skin or a Juggalo Championship Wrestling or whatever, like whatever it is. If an IP wants to use this engine and they can pay for it, like Hyperfocus Games will develop. And we saw screenshots, and if you go and check out on their Patreon, they actually had some video footage too of like AEW arenas with like the Ultra Pro Wrestling characters in it, and they showed 3D models of like the Darby Allin that they
I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
and it's like I was like, this looks so cool. Yeah, like it's just, to me, it's so perfect an engine for that sort of thing that I really hope we do, because it's not something I ever thought about.
Yeah.
But now that I've seen it, and now that I know it's a thing that could happen and might happen, it's all I want to happen. I want to see it because it just develops the engine. Because Ultra Pro Wrestling, once it releases, they're going to keep developing it for years. It'll be very much the same as Fire Pro Wrestling World was. I don't know if you're familiar, but that came out in early access as well in 2017, I believe.
Oh,
and I got it
in early access. I have it on.
I got it in early access.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it early access. In early access, it didn't have a career mode. It didn't have the create a move. It was missing. It didn't have GM mode. It didn't have a bunch of the stuff. It was a very bare bones game. You could have matches. That was it. It had roster, and I think the only roster in it was, I can't remember if New Japan was the base and that was it, or I can't remember how the roster was at launch. But I just remember playing it, and I was like, it's another Fire Pro game. It's missing a lot of stuff. Then I didn't touch it for years. Then I came back to it, and they'd added all this stuff, and there was a bunch of DLC and stuff too for a few bucks, and it's now a full-on game, and it's great. But my worry is that a lot of people will get the game if it's early access, play it, think, cool, they'll have some whatever matches are available to you, whether it's one-on-one, tag team, whatever. Like, the game's cool, but there's nothing else to do. Just like AEW Fight Forever, a lot of fun. Once you played it for a week or two, run out of stuff to do, you don't touch it again. Some of us would go back to Fight Forever if it got a big update, but I don't know how many people will. So that's my biggest fear with the early access thing.
I think if he can stay consistent with updates regularly, like every maybe other month or just every month, like not major huge updates, but just as long as he's continuously adding stuff and keeping it in the conversation, I think he'll be fine. Because the major thing with AEW is now that the content's all dried up, if they were to go back now and do something, then nobody would give a crap. I mean, we would, because we like wrestling games, and we'd definitely go check it back and make content off of it. But I think the masses either already traded in, deleted off their hard drive, got a refund. I don't think, unless they massively overhauled the game and added in all the things that are missing, then I don't think people would go back. What's funny about this,
I think that's the biggest problem. Yes, sir, go ahead.
The funny thing about this, and I was going to say this, but I said this in my video. What does this mean for GOAC's relationship with AEW? If they're talking to or reaching out to Ultra Pro Wrestling, are they done with GOAC's? Because that's what it seems like. It's like, that sucks. Has that bridge been burnt?
I think
they own the engine, but
I think we knew that years ago.
I mean, but that sucks though, because I was so hopeful that GOAC was working on either AEW 2 or making new content for AEW, mainly because their two games, which were too bizarre. I think one of them was Double Dragon, and the other one is like some robot high school girl thing. It just released last year, and they've been silent all year. So I was like, ooh, are they working on something for AEW? Are they working on a new game or wrestling? Maybe they're working on another Rumble Roses, because Konami's been bringing back a bunch of old stuff. That would be awesome.
You got to think about this though. AEW owns that engine, even though GOAC's developed it. So GOAC's can't take that engine and reskin it. They can't do a Rumble Roses with it.
Well, they could do something else. Konami still owns the old, I'm pretty sure.
Sure, but I'm saying like the Here Comes the Pain engine. But this one they can't use because that's I thought initially that's great. AEW owns this, blah blah blah. But it's the opposite. You want the guys who developed it to own the engine, and
you
they
don't want
can make
someone else coming in. Yeah.
So you don't want, because we saw what happened with 2K20 when you had Virtual Concepts take over the GOAC's engine.
It took 3 years for them to figure it out, and they still haven't figured it out. They're still
We're still working with that old code in there, because with modding, you see all the files and the code and stuff that's buried in there. There are so many like 2K20 19, 21, 22, 24, like, or not 21, but some things I think actually do say 21 on them that were designed for 21.
The game that never
But,
came out.
yeah, but there's all these things that say 23, 24, 25, just old stuff. Some of it's, still in the game, but like some stuff's changed. There's backstage areas that you've never seen before. And it's just like the TBD arena, the one I'm actually working on my Patreon, where like I'm making the balconies climbable, and I've added a scaffold and all kinds of crazy stuff. But that arena, when going through the files for all the stuff, it has its own backstage arena. It's like a TBD backstage, and it's a different looking backstage, but it doesn't have any havoc. So nothing's like, there's no floor. Like visually it's there, but there's no, you'd have to put in the havoc so that there's a floor that you're walking on. So there's walls, so that there's, like stuff in your way. You're not just walking through everything, but it has, and there's probably 30 other backstage areas that you've never seen. There's a catering backstage. There's locker rooms. There's GM locker rooms for SmackDown and Raw.
Does it have the catering move you could do where you beat them, throw them through the table, and then shove food in their face?
None of that stuff is there because there's no havoc. There's no havoc.
Okay.
So you would just walk through everything. There's nothing. That's what I mean. Is it's unfinished work that's just sitting there. Where I'm like, I can give it havoc, and like make it like a backstage and like brawl area or something. But it's just like, this is right here, and you don't finish it. And same thing with our active backstage areas. There's parts of it that like, here's a wall and you can't walk. But if you like go past that and just see what the rest is there, there's like an extra hallway. There's monitors. There's stuff. There's like drinks. So there's like stuff built out that you just can't even go to. Modders can make it accessible now, but it's so weird seeing like catering, seeing gorilla position is there. There's so many. There's an airport bar. And some of this stuff, I think, is, it's crazy. But some of this stuff is used in My Rise, and some of them are from My Rise Pass, where maybe for cutscenes. But they just don't have any havoc. So, like, there's this airport bar and everything, but it's like, how cool would it be if you could, like, pick up that beer bottle and smash it over someone's head? Or, like, you know what I mean?
This is why...
It goes through my head.
And I said this in one of my videos. This is why they need to support the modding community and have like a mod shop, kind of like Skyrim and all that kind of have, and let you guys earn money because they'll fix the game for them. They don't have to lift a finger. Take a percentage of what you guys give. I mean, I don't know how that would work. I think we talked about that before.
They would have to monetize it. They would have to monetize it.
That would be so cool. The entire modding community would come in and fix the game for them, and it would be way better for it. But then how do you sell them on the next game and the next game? That's why they need to come up with a final game. I know we're talking about 2K now and not UPW, but it correlates because Ultra Pro Wrestling is going to be probably the ultimate moddable game ever when it finally comes out.
I'm going to tell you why this all ties in for sure.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why it all
here in a
ties
second. But if they could just make one final super wrestling game or just one every 5 years and let the modders go nuts, that would keep the game alive forever. You can have skins, you can have wrestlers, and if a wrestler's contract expires, well, it doesn't matter because they're contracted to the game. You don't have to worry about removing them. And then that would be the ultimate wrestling game. And then you could finally make those big changes to get people to buy the next one. Having one every single year, I don't know how those guys aren't like super stressed out and just want to go jump off a building because you have such a time crunch every single game, and you get all this backlash every single year for the 2K games from the fan base. Obviously, there's the ride or die fans, but there's always something that happens to the games. Either a patch screwed something up, something's missing, a character gets announced that looks like crap or is missing something that's not authentic enough, and it's just this endless snowball. They need to stop, take a break, get it to where it goes or needs to be, and then release this ultimate wrestling game that they could build
TKO and 2K would never go for that because even if the wrestling game sucks, just think about how many millions of dollars they make per year off these games. And you're saying go 5 years? Think of 5 years worth of crap games, those millions of dollars. Are they going to make up for it with one really good wrestling game? Are they going to make up for all the microtransactions they get from My Faction?
Imagine how much My Faction stuff they could add in 5 years. Think about that. But that doesn't matter because they can charge you again for the same stuff like they do now. I'm saying that it's so bad right now that there's no world where that will ever happen in my mind. Especially with no competition right now. Yeah.
But it's because again, the 5 years of crappy games is worth more financially to them than one really good game every 5 years would be. I mean, the UFC does it. The UFC doesn't release a game every year, but maybe they'll start. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
because it's to
TKO,
me, I
they
agree
want
with you.
more money.
But this is why Ukes left in the first place, is they were pushing to get a second development team on the game so that they could release a game every 2 years.
Yeah, see, that would have been
And
perfect.
they would just alternate. And then you get, whether it's a WWE All-Stars type of game or whatever, and then you get your 2K mainline. Like, it doesn't matter, but they would just have each team would have 2 years to develop. That, to me, would be ideal. That'd be great. You get a different wrestling game, a truly different wrestling game every year. And every 2 years, you get your bigger upgrade with more match types, more characters, better story, better whatever, blah, blah, blah. But tying this all back to Ultra Pro Wrestling with the modding community and everything is that they actually have one of the main modders from 2K, Rips, who develops like a lot of the tools. He actually developed one of the camera angle tools as well, where you can create your own different camera angles, so you're not stuck with third person or ramp facing your stage. You can actually pick your camera angles and have different set ones in the game. He developed that. He's developed a lot of the stuff on like a lot of the modding side and everything. One of the big guys. I wasn't aware he's working directly like for Ultra Pro Wrestling now.
Oh, awesome.
Like he's part of the Ultra Pro Wrestling team. And because I asked them privately, I was just showing off all the things I could do with mods. I was like, hey, like, I'm able to make balcony fights a reality in 2K. This is how this works. Take a look. This is, I do streams on it, but here's a little clips of me doing my thing. So I hope you guys are going to be supporting mods and all that. And that's when they told me, they're like, oh, well, we don't know if you know, but Rips is like, he's part of the team. He's giving them advice on what to do. And they're going to be fully embracing the modding community. Like, mods are going to be a part of Ultra Pro Wrestling. They're fully embracing the modding scene. And they have one of the godfathers of all of, for what I know, for all of modern modding of like the 2K franchise, working directly for the team now. So I think that's amazing. To me, that was huge news. I don't think I'm dropping any news that I wasn't supposed to or anything. Like, I don't think this was any kind of secret or anything. It's just something I wasn't aware of until they told me, and I just thought that is so freaking cool. Like, one of the godfathers of mods is going to be directing them on like, hey, we need to have this, that, the other, make this functionality. And he can tell them, teach them, or show them how this is how it's implemented in 2K. This is how you could implement it in the game. So I just think the creation suite, I have even more hope for now, because if they have guys like that giving them, because I know Sam, best of intentions, everything else, huge AKI engine guy, everything else, but he hasn't played a lot of the more recent WWE mainline games. I know a lot of guys on the team obviously have, but I know Sam himself hasn't. So having these guys on the team, and especially a modder like Rips, gives me new hope for the creation suite to really be the best it can be, because they'll make sure all those quality of life features are there for them. How to properly implement like the image uploader when you get your images on there, how to stretch them, how to this, how to that. I feel like those are the people they need on the team to be able to make sure that you can get the best out of the creation suite, especially for guys like you who love to create your own custom things. Cool. But then there's going to be those guys on the other side that are super into like the very lifelike or very, UPW style even of like a perfect recreation of your real life wrestlers that aren't contracted, like say maybe a Bret Hart or Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or whoever. Like, there's going to be community creations and those things. But now knowing the guys they have like working on the team and in their ear and telling them like all the stuff that they need to put in there, sky's the limit, man. Again, I'm very fearful that an early access.
I'm just about to segue to that.
Well, yeah, the early access thing scares me to death, because I'm one of the big reasons. I personally told Sam, don't do it. First impression is all you're getting from most players. Look at Starfield. I think that's the name of the game. That had not Starfield. No, that's the wrong one. No Man's Sky. Look at No Man's Sky. Yeah. Your horrible launch. Incredible. One of the best games out there, I'm sure now.
Yeah,
myself.
Talk about a comeback.
Didn't really touch it after launch. Didn't really touch it. Didn't really come back to it after launch. Power World, amazing, full release, everything. Haven't touched it since the beta. Since the
I
early
did.
access.
I went back to
Played it for months.
It's pretty fun. It's really good now. You should try it out.
Your majority, I'm saying your average player will not be giving these games a second look. So the vast majority of players are only going to get that first impression. So regardless of how good the game becomes 5 years after release, that first taste is what most people are going to remember it for. So that's why I said only release a finished product. I'm a big reason why they didn't do why the demo got postponed or just deleted, like didn't happen. But now that we're going to be getting an early access, it looks like, I really hope it's all it can be. Because I understand they need the funding. It's not something he wanted to do. I'll be happy because I'll have a new wrestling game to play.
Same.
And I'll be covering every new update.
Yep.
Every time there's a new update, that's more content for us.
Yep.
More stuff for us to put out. So it's great for us. From a selfish point of view, it's fantastic for us. I just worry that say 100,000 people, great number, download, try the beta. Maybe 10,000 of those players come back for the finished product. The only way you get a big number of people is you get a big channel, like say a Penguin Zero kind of thing, like a Moist Critical. Like if you, because I know he likes wrestling games and stuff too, and is a wrestling fan. If he were to play Ultra Pro Wrestling in a finished state, and you get that out to millions of people, then you get those people coming back, and then you get that huge audience. But outside of something like that, again, you say out of 100,000 players, I'd say you get 10,000 players back, like a year, 2 years after. Early access.
Do you think because there's such a limited number of wrestling games, do you think that despite that people would still come back even though most of the time they don't because there is no other alternatives? Like it's either Ultra Pro Wrestling World or
Fire Pro Wrestling World. How many players are going back to Fire Pro Wrestling World?
Exactly.
That game is active with a community creations. The Steam Workshop has people uploading stuff daily. To this day, there's new because you have everything in that. You have create a move. You have all I
spent a lot of time in the
image uploaders and stuff.
So fun.
Yeah, the creative wrestler is amazing in that game. Yeah, but how many people are going back to Fire Pro Wrestling World, even though it's in a state where it's in a finally finished state? It's got all the bells and whistles you could want for one of those games. Nobody's going. I love Fire Pro, and I've played Fire Pro games since the SNES.
I think a big part of it is because the modern audience wants shiny new graphics, and that's kind of like an old school graphic style wrestling game. I think
Retromania Wrestling is very popular.
Part of it, but is it as popular as a 2K or something else? Retromania is also another niche wrestling game. I feel like I feel like Ultra Pro Wrestling would be a notch above because it has like a 3D elements to it. It has a 3D aspect to it. It's not 2D. It's not 2.5D like these other wrestling games or old school wrestling games. And it's going to have something that none of the other things have, and it has the giant creation suite. It's going to eventually have this career mode. For its launch, and I said this in my video, if they can get the gameplay absolutely perfect, even if you only have one or two match types and everything else in the game is not ready yet, if you can nail that perfect, fun gameplay. It has to be perfect, because if the gameplay is wonky or doesn't work function at all, or there's something wrong with it, you're falling through the ring, then yes, that first impression, it's over. Nobody's going to come back to it. At least not like you said. But if they can nail that gameplay, if they can make people go, that was the most fun I've had in a wrestling game in years. If they can capture that, I think personally that people would come back. But as I was alluding to before we got off track, I made you in WWE 2K26. You've been Stricerfied. Here is Mr. Dubs. Give me a second to set it up.
Make way for Mr. Dubs.
So Mr. Dubs is about to see his created wrestler that I made for him in WWE 2K26. He will be available if he likes it. If not, well, I guess I won't upload him. So it's all up. The verdict is up to Mr. Dubs. Let's check it out here.
Well, you can upload it to Community Creations, and once that mod is out, that you can download console Community Creations, and it's all working and everything, you can just download it to your PC. You don't even have to remake them.
Right? And I kind of went... I mixed-matched your character. My inspiration was because you like fighting games so much, and when we were first hanging out together on the channels and stuff,
I like the G-Hat.
You were whooping me on Street Fighter, taking me to school on that game.
I just love that he's got the G hat on, because G is the character I want them to bring to Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter 5.
Nice.
I love G.
Happy coincidence. So I was trying to make you like a boss character, and my brain for some reason went to Geese from SNK.
Geese Howard, yeah. Geese Howard, yeah.
I saw those pants, and I just went, I'm going to make him look like Geese, and mixed with the Bret Hart glasses because you like Bret Hart. I did the Goldberg entrance because
the hat totally reminded me of G.
Nice.
I love it.
I picked the Goldberg entrance because, well, you're like a fighter by heart. You like fighting games, and I feel like that's like the most fighting guy entrance there is. Where he's just, I'm gonna F this.
I use part of the Goldberg entrance. For
I was gonna say, don't you even use it for your character?
I use it mixed with Triple H.
So this is his first attire that comes with Mr. Dubs. Yeah, for Kenny Bomb, I did the Undertaker because he loves the Undertaker, and I forgot how long the entrance was, so we were there for quite a minute. It's like,
the longest entrance of all time.
But yeah, he really enjoyed it. At least he said he did. And I uploaded them right afterwards, so I was actually pretty happy with that. So there is your first version entrance and non. Now we'll do a quick little time skip here, and I'll show you his other attire.
This year the mods didn't come out for I think a month or something after release. It was a little while. So if that's the case for 2K27, I'm going to be so happy to just continue to play with all my mods on 2K26 until the mods are all up and running for 27.
So here is Mr. Dubs version 2, second attire. I kind of went with Stone Cold. And
it's got some punk rock.
And punk rock a little bit.
He's got his strides are fine.
And I love the mohawk.
I've never even seen that vest with all the fur on it.
Yeah, that cool?
Boots with the fur.
Yeah, with the fur.
So you can have the mohawk over top of the regular hair.
Yes, that's why I was using it. I was testing out that today. I'm like, that's so cool. So I spent 3 hours going through all the hairstyles.
When can you do that?
Because it's a prop hair. It's not an actual hairstyle.
Oh.
So it's
because I was going to say, I'm like, with mods I can understand how you do that, but with on console, that's cool.
They give you the Stone Cold jeans, purple mohawk, the glasses, the long hair. I thought it turned out pretty cool, but what is the verdict, Mr. Dubs? Do you like it?
For me,
it's okay if you don't.
Even though it was... no, I love them. I think they're great, but for me, the unintentional G hat, because you said the fighting game thing, and I wasn't even paying attention to the geese pants and everything, is just because G is the character I want to see most come to Street Fighter 6. And every time they announce their year's worth of DLC and he's not there, I'm like, come on, guys. Because he was, he's got links to Q from Street Fighter 3. And G was he was the new character in Street Fighter 5. He's really awesome. He's like wanted him to be like a boss type character. And I want him and either Dudley or Balrog. Like Balrog /
Yo, I can't believe
Bison, whatever you want to call him, the boxer. Yeah, like the boxer one. Because some people call Balrog, they have the Japanese names. So, Mike Bison was what his name was supposed to be, right? He was based off Mike Tyson. That's what M. Bison is supposed to be, the boxer. But, anyways, I want Balrog or Dudley for a boxer to come in, and I want G. So, seeing that G hat, that sold me on it. This mohawk is hilarious, though.
Yeah,
so those are Stone Cold jeans?
Well, they're the closest things they had. But it was
the
jeans category.
I was thinking, he has the jean shorts. I was like, when does he wear pants?
Well, I think one of the versions you could get him in the 2K game was
he had full pants?
Well, he had jean shorts where he had those knee braces and everything.
Yeah, jean shorts. Yeah, always has jean shorts.
I don't know
blue
if
or black. Usually
if that's in the game or not, but I
saw
a picture of. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked cool when I was making them today. So this version of you I made this morning because I wanted to give you an extra attire because I did that for Kenny also.
I like the mohawk, and it looks like I have well, I know it's not the Brock Lesnar, but it looks like the Brock Lesnar back tattoo, like the spine.
Oh yeah, the cool
Darby
spine tattoo.
It looks cool. Yeah.
What?
That's sweet. Boom. I really love the arena. For me, the arena I think is super cool. I love your logoing and everything. Nice. The arena turned out really well.
He countered my.
Really like the ring cameras.
I see a lot of the time.
You're playing. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's segment to
you gotta
the
beat
end
him.
Here.
Gotta beat. Oh yeah, you don't need the RXP. You missed cheese in the RXP.
All right, so I just showed Mr. Dubs his wrestler. Mr. Dubs, I hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun making it. I made you guys, I think, in 2K23 also. I made you a new attire this time with a mohawk. I might mohawk everybody just for fun. Unfortunately, the mohawk is not available for female created wrestlers, so that kind of sucks
so
because
weird.
I wanted to use that funny, goofy mohawk on everybody just to make a fun video, but unfortunately, you can only use it on male wrestlers. But yes,
That's so
with
weird.
Dubs' permission, the character, Mr. Dubs himself, will be available on Community Creations on console, and yes, I will be making it on PC as well, for the PC crowd, because Mr. Dubs is the PC guy right here, Mr. Modder. Anyway, before we leave, Mr. Dubs, tell the fine people where they can find you and what you're going to be up to in the next couple days. Feel free to plug all your stuff.
Sure. You can find me over on X/Twitter at Mr. Dubs86. You can obviously find me here on YouTube at Mr. Dubs or Mr._Dubs, I think it is. Either way, you can just search Mr. Dubs on YouTube. And I will be finishing up my TBD arena. If you have not seen it, I don't know where you've been, but I have been making some crazy mods, and this is by far my biggest undertaking. I do live streams on the channel all the time of me literally making the mod, showing you exactly how I do it. I think we've got about 6 12-hour streams. Maybe one, I think one of them might have been an 8-hour, like one or two of them might have been a little bit shorter, but mostly 8-hour stream or 12-hour streams, and we're not quite finished it yet. It's almost there. It's got all the climbable stuff, so you can climb on the balconies, dive off the balconies, throw people off the balconies. It's super cool. You can fight in the crowd. You can fight all over the place. We've got props everywhere. I built my own custom cage, like an L-shaped cage with scaffolding. The reason I made it an L shape instead of having it surround the entire ring like the Hell in a Cell was simply because you can't get that transparency that they have in a Hell in a Cell or in a Elimination Chamber, where the camera, when you're making your own cage, will just show the cage and it obstructs the view quite a bit, I find. So I made it an L shape just from actually when you and I tested it. That other guy's mod, when we tested that AEW Lights Out cage,
yeah, they're cool.
just the angles. The angles were really hard with the camera, so that's why I made it an L-shaped cage with a scaffold on top, so you can climb it, you can fight on top of it, you can throw them off of it into the ring. It works fantastic. It's super, super cool. So I'm really excited to get this mod out into the community, and I can't wait for you to try it. So stay tuned to the channel, because when I get a chance to sit down with you, as well as Kenny Bomb, I'm hoping to have just Brian on as well. Get all you guys to test it out whenever you guys have some time. Once I get it finished. It's really close. We're working on the lighting right now and just doing our finishing touches with the props. But I'm hoping to get that finished this week. So stay tuned to the channel for that. We will be live streaming on it some more.
You're going to end up converting all of us to PC players with all these awesome mods you're doing. So that looks like it's the Mr. Dubs mission. So yeah.
It's just so much fun, man. It's really a blast, and I wish more and more of the community could see how fun this game, like the potential this game has. Like, because with mods, you get to realize that and see all the cool things, like glass tables, lower steel steps, crazy, fun, like weapons that explode, and all. Like, there's so many cool different kinds of mods out there, not just cool characters. But the arena stuff this year, that's what really put it over the top for me. Being able to, like, climb Titantrons and throw people off and stuff. And the fact that I know how to personally do that and can now put that in myself into the game blows my mind. So I'm having a blast. But yeah, stay tuned to the channel. We will be doing more live streams soon, finishing up that arena. And yeah, just come check me out.
Thanks again, Dubs, for joining me. You guys watching, stay frosty, and I'll see you next time.